American aid workers deployed to support Ebola response efforts in the Democratic Republic of Congo have been transferred to a U.S.-supported bio-isolation facility at Laikipia Air Base in central Kenya. The team, which works with Samaritan's Purse, a Christian humanitarian organization, is undergoing a mandatory 21-day quarantine following U.S. travel requirements for personnel returning from the Democratic Republic of Congo. A U.S. State Department official told Reuters the 7 voluntarily moved to the Laikipia facility as a precautionary measure to allow for monitoring and isolation. Emily Chebet has more details.
Barely a month after Health Cabinet Secretary Duale told the court that construction of the US-backed bio-isolation facility at the Laikipia Air Base had been halted, the facility is back in the spotlight, with reports indicating that 7 American aid workers are now undergoing quarantine there. Samaritan's Purse, one of the major humanitarian organizations responding to the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo, has confirmed to Reuters that 7 of its workers are currently isolating in Kenya. According to the organization's president and CEO Franklin Graham, the 7 voluntarily traveled to the Laikipia facility after completing their deployment in DRC, but they are under close monitoring in line with U.S. government health and travel protocols.
Ladies and gentlemen, about a month ago or a few weeks ago, there was a topic that was the trending topic in the Republic of Kenya. The issue of the importation of Ebola virus patients into the Republic of Kenya after the president signed a deal with the American government to actually build an Ebola quarantine facility for Ebola patients of American citizenship in Laikipia Air Base, Nanyuki Air Base, Laikipia County. And different bodies moved to the High Court of Kenya to actually seek conservatory order to stop the implementation of the deal between Kenya and the United States of establishing an Ebola quarantine facility in the Republic of Kenya. And after the conservatory orders were issued, the Cabinet Secretary of Health, Duale, went ahead to violate the said agreement. After Duale violation of the said conservatory orders that were issued by the High Court of Kenya, the High Court actually summoned Duale and issued him a summon on the basis of the contempt of court. And Duale appeared before the High Court, where he actually assured and swore to the court that the construction of the said Ebola quarantine facility for Americans in in Nanyuki Air Base, Laikipia County, was going to stop immediately. But what is actually shocking is, according to details that actually have made headlines in the Republic of Kenya as of 17th of July, the year 2026, that 7 American Ebola response aid workers from America have landed or secretly landed in Kenya and were placed under 21-day quarantine at the US-built isolation facility in Nanyuki, Laikipia County. So the question that we are asking, Duale told the court that the construction of the quarantine facility in Laikipia had been stopped due to the conservatory orders that actually sought to review the deal before it was actually signed again. How comes that now 7 Ebola patients are now being quarantined at the same facility that was said to have stopped being constructed? Now, here is the catch. This facility is under a court order halting construction. A judge suspended it pending final ruling. Yet Americans are already inside being quarantined. Unajua, Kenyans have been actually taken over by events that have been happening all over the country, and they have not actually been tracking down what has been going on secretly behind the curtains. That now 7 Ebola patients from America are being currently quarantined at the Laikipia Ebola quarantine facility. Kenya is now the designated third country waiting room for the US own Ebola exposure risk, while our courts get ignored on our own soil. Who authorized this? Where is the compliance report to the court? I mean, the court had sought to actually halt this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this happens a day after Aden Duale signed a $206 billion health deal with the United States the other day. The Kenya and the US recently signed a $206 billion health deal. Kenya and the United States on Wednesday signed a 5-year health cooperation agreement worthy roughly 1.6 billion US dollars, which is equal to 206 billion Kenyan shillings, formally relaunching bilateral health partnership efforts. The strategic objective grant agreement was signed by Health CS Aden Duale and Treasury CS John Badi alongside a US delegation led by Charge d'Affaires Susan Burns in Kenya. The agreement set out shared priorities, funding commitments, implementation targets, and accountability mechanisms guiding health cooperation between the two countries. Now, the agreement is separate from the roughly 51 million newborn care equipment donation the Charge d'Affaires announced in April. Ladies and gentlemen, the US went ahead to ensure that it actually gives Kenya or the government of Kenya every reason to violate the existing court orders. I mean, wamewapatia deal ya 206 billion on Wednesday, which was the other day. They signed that deal and the US started releasing money according to the agreement. So after releasing money, the US tells Aden Duale, we have 7 Ebola patients that we are bringing to Kenya. So it's either you receive them or return our money. I mean, how could you receive our billions and sign an agreement with us and then reject receiving our Ebola patients? So Aden Duale did this behind the wraps. That is why you see now they have received the said Ebola Ebola patients in Laikipia without, violating an already existing court order that Duale saw before took an oath before the court that he will adhere to. 7 Americans aid workers who had been in the Democratic Republic of Congo to fight the Ebola outbreak are currently quarantining at an isolation facility in Kenya after the US government introduced new travel restrictions. The head of a US charity employing them told the Reuters, which is an international media outlet, and it is the media that actually leaked the Reuters, which is an international media. It is the media outlet that leaked the information and Kenyans came to know about it. The aid workers are the first people to be quarantined at the facility, which has sparked huge opposition in Kenya and is at the heart of an ongoing court case. A judge had previously ordered activity at the site to be suspended until a final ruling is issued. But work on the facility has continued according to US officials and satellite imagery reviewed by Reuters. Washington's new policy says American citizens returning from the Democratic Republic of Congo, where there is an Ebola outbreak, must spend 3 weeks in that country before entering the United States. Yani, watapitia Kenya wote ambao wako kule Congo before heading to the United States. Wakuwe quarantined hapa, waache Ebola yao hapa, then they can proceed to their Ebola-free country. Now, the bio-isolation unit built by the US government on an Air Force base in central Kenya for Americans exposed to the virus in the DRC or Uganda has angered many Kenyans to accuse the US of offloading the health risk of caring for patients. Last month, Kenya's health minister announced an immediate halt to the construction of the facility after he was found guilty of contempt of court for failing to observe suspension orders issued by a local court against proceeding with the unit. According to the Reuters, Samaritans pass as 7 American disaster assistance response team staff members there. Franklin Graham, president and CEO of Samaritan Pass, told the Reuters in response to Reuters' question, none of them have actually any symptoms, but they are being quarantined by the Kenyan government for 21 days. I mean, you can't tell us they don't have any symptoms. These people have been in contact with Ebola. Kenya is an Ebola-free country. It has never reported any Ebola cases within the Kenyan borders. So why quarantine them here? A U.S. State Department official told Reuters that a group of asymptomatic Americans who had served on the front lines of the Ebola response had voluntarily moved to the Kenyan facility for precautionary monitoring and isolation. Kenyan authorities have authorized their movement into the facility under the observation of the U.S. Public Health Service clinicians. The official said, now adding that the decision was taken strictly out of an abundance of caution. Kenyan Health Ministry officials did not immediately respond to calls or requests for comment. A senior Kenyan Foreign Ministry official said they did not have any information about the matter. Another source familiar with the matter who asked for anonymity said that the group had arrived at the site in central Kenya on Monday and were sleeping in army coats in tents. He said some had worked as medics treating Ebola patients at the Christian Aid Group's treatment centers, but others had worked in other functions with no direct contact with the sick, such as construction. There is one potential high-risk exposure, he said, adding that their health was being monitored. Kenyan authorities are not allowing the group to leave the facility to travel anywhere else in the country, he added. Now, mtazamaji, this Ebola thing, we actually made noise about it, and they told us that it is over, it is not going to happen, and Americans exposed to Ebola virus will not be quarantined in Kenya. And actually, Duale saw before a judge in the High Court that he had stopped the whole operation of building the isolation facility. But according to this international media, which has actually carried out a satellite imagery analyzation, it has established that the works of the construction the said facility is ongoing, and that is why they have brought their first bunch of 7 American citizens who were, in one way or the other, in contact with Ebola patients in Congo to be quarantined here in Kenya. I mean, could you tell us that Kenyans are not they are not at the risk of being exposed to the Ebola virus? No, you can't assure us that, because this country has never dealt with any Ebola cases before. This is the first time, and it is happening. The shock is that sorry for that, they are treating foreigners, not their own citizens. Niayo kwa sasa. I would love to hear your take. Leave a comment on the comment section, and please make sure you subscribe.
Duale has dismissed claims that the government is going on with the construction of a 50-bed Ebola quarantine facility at Laikipia military base. This even as recent satellite images appear to show ongoing construction within the military base, including what seem to be white medical tents already erected on site. Duale maintains that the government is fully complying with a court order issued on the 29th of May, which temporarily halted the project following a petition filed by Katiba Institute.
Tension remains high in Nanyuki, Laikipia County, following a series of protests against the proposed United States-backed Ebola quarantine facility at the Laikipia Air Base. Hundreds of residents took to the streets demanding cancellation of the project. Recent satellite images show recent activity of an ongoing construction at the airbase, with white tents already erected and a series of flight radar indicating movement in and out of the base. According to the agreement between the government of Kenya and the United States government, the U.S. would assume full responsibility for the construction, equipping, operation and management of the facility. Despite government assurances that the project is part of broader Ebola preparedness efforts, critics continue to question the transparency surrounding the facility, particularly following a court order that temporarily halted its construction on 28th May, pending the determination of a petition challenging the project. Despite these telltale signs, Health Cabinet Secretary maintains there is no construction going on.
Which construction? We comply with the court.
While the government maintains Kenya is prepared, the lack of publicly available information has fueled suspicion among sections of the public who are putting the government on the spot for withholding critical information from Kenyans in regards to Ebola isolation centers.
We have 23 facilities which are quarantine, treatment centers, isolation centers. One of them is where you are. Before you leave, go to Kenyatta National Hospital, National Police Service Hospital. About 12 of our very high-risk counties already they have been mapped out. We are building quarantine isolation centers. If you go to JKIA, you'll find an isolation center. People coming from the areas that we feel are close to the epicenter, those planes are being taken to a different area within the airport. So we can give you the list. There are many, 23.
NTV has noted that every time the government officials are asked to provide a comprehensive list of the reported Ebola isolation centers within the country, journalists are often met with vague responses, with no clear information being provided on the exact location of the remaining centers.
You don't want me to clarify?
Helen Aura, NTV.
And that situation is one that we'll keep our eyes on, and we shall also be looking at what exactly happened in Laikipia County, even as the protests died down, but there's some significant...
As a citizen, as a minister, public servant, I will be the last person to disregard a court order. I will be the last person to violate any constitutional order given by any court. And I sincerely regret any action, omission, misunderstanding, or misinterpretation that may have resulted in a non-compliance with the order of this court or created the perception thereof. Thank you, my lady. Notwithstanding the foregoing, and in recognition of the authority of this honorable court, I have directed the immediate and complete cessation of any intended construction, site preparations, or related activities concerning Laikipia Air Base facility, pending the hearing and determination of the substantive petition or until further orders of this court. I wish to say to this honorable court that I hold its orders in the highest regard and remain committed to the full observance. Honorable my lady, I want to say it categorically, I have been a member of parliament for over 20 years. I participated in making many of the laws that the court is implementing. I was the first majority leader under the new constitution and appended my signature on over 1,000